Okay, so continuing to work on this Viking sword. And now that that handle is on there and I'm not trying to grip that little tiny tang, this really feels a lot better. It's still heavy, but it's starting to balance out a lot better. So, if you're not familiar with Alec Steele, he's the young British kid who's a blacksmith and does sword making and knife making and all sorts of fun stuff. As I am working on this, he is working on a Viking sword, and that was part of the inspiration of Let's Make a Viking Sword. Is I've been watching Alex's videos. I had the pleasure of meeting Alex in Atlanta for the Blade Show this summer. An incredible guy, very nice, very knowledgeable, just an all-around great kid, really is. I watch a lot of his videos. I am a fan of his. He does fantastic work, and he takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to get things right, and he has the ability to do that because he is a full-time YouTube guy. That's all he does. I, however, have to work, try to make money, so YouTube videos are just like a fun little thing that I get to do, and a dozen people get to see them. So anyway, while I was on the phone yesterday or the day before talking to a good friend of mine, a local knife maker, Mac Lyons, he said, "Hey, I saw your video. I know you're making a sword. Did you look at Alex's video and pull the dimensions off?" Because Alex did a lot of research. Not Alex, Alec. Alec did a lot of research, and he's got all of the dimensions down for the one that he's doing. And I said, no, as a matter of fact, I paid no attention to those dimensions, and I just went about building a sword. So today I went back and re-looked at one of Alec's videos to get the thickness of the blade, to see what he was doing and what his research led him to do, because even though I'm doing one that's significantly shorter, it's really heavy, and I've never done this. I don't know what kind of thickness it's supposed to be at, so why not just pull information from the dude that did a bunch of research? So what he had is 4 millimeters here towards the back, tapering down to 2 millimeters at the front. 2 millimeters is pretty freaking thin. To put that into American, it is about 0.08 inches, which is that thick. That's quite a bit less than 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to go out to, let's see where we're at. So I'm at 0.3. Which is about twice as thick as where he is right here. And that's his final dimension. That's after heat treating. So I think what I need to do is go back to the grinder, take some more out of this and thin it down and get a little bit closer. I'm at, like I said, 0.3. So I'm thicker than a quarter, about halfway between a quarter and 3/8. So I'm going to put the handle and guard and all that aside for a little bit. I'm going to go back to the grinder, thin this whole thing out, see where I'm at down here. So down on the end, I'm actually thicker than Alec is all the way back here. So that's quite a lot of steel to take out. I don't know if I'm going to take it all out because I still want this to be not a heavy sword, but a strong sword. So I'm going to take some more steel out. How much more am I going to take out? I don't know. But I'm going to get closer to his numbers, and that should really help out with the weight. So a lot of grinding to do. I'm probably not even going to film that because it's just going to be a lot of freaking grinding. But I will film some more of the finishing with the handles and the palm. All right, so that has been ground even further. Actually, it didn't take that long. Put a fresh belt on, and so now about 0.24, I guess, at the back. So I took about 6 thousandths off of it, I guess. And up here at the tip, about 0.14. So getting closer to the dimensions that he had. This is prior to heat treat, so I want to leave it a little bit thicker, and I can already tell that that made a huge difference in the weight. I think it is absolutely time. This is ready for heat treat, so it's time to get all that set up. So, quench tank is set up. I know what you're thinking. Cheapness introduces stupidity and potential for disaster, because that's a piece of PVC, which is, of course, flammable. This will be 1500 degrees before it goes into that. I have taken safety precautions. One, I'm in the driveway, car is gone. Metal bucket that it's sitting in will hold all of the oil should this spill. And if it catches on fire, we'll put a lid on top of that and it'll snuff the fire out. Should the worst happen and there's an actual spill of flaming oil on the ground, it'll be on my driveway and there's no car there, so it'll be okay. I have a secondary burner set up on the forge right here, coming out of the back into these bricks. Earlier I did a normalizing cycle and I was able to get the entire blade heated up pretty good. I'm going to switch it up a little bit this time to try and get it even better for the quench. So hopefully we're getting ready to have some real success. Or a huge ass flame. We got half of it where we want to be right now. Trick is getting it all that way. Alright, here we go. Don't break, don't break. Woo!
So you're gonna take it to the vise?
Oh, I am. We're going to the vise. Alright, so don't touch that. That's in the vise. It's pretty straight as it sits in the vise. What am I calling this?
Yeah. It is pretty straight now.
I'm going to loosen up that vise just a little bit. Out of the way, out of the way. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. A little bit of a bend in it. Right in the middle. It looks pretty good in the vise. Whatever little bit of warpage we may have, hopefully I can get it out in the grind. Okay, so we got the sword in the vise. It's been sitting here for, I don't know, a couple of minutes. Do a little hardness check on here. That front section hardened up really good. The back section, however, a little softer. Because it's only the first inch or so, maybe inch and a half, and the longer it sits here, actually, the better it's starting to sound. So I think we're okay. I think we've got a good hard blade. Tang is still soft. Blade is about as straight as I'm going to get it coming out of a quench. So next is the temper. Okay, couldn't wait till tomorrow. I'm very excited, and here's what I'm going to try to do. I've run this through the grinder and cleaned it up so I can see it. It's nice and shiny. I've turned the forge back on. We're going to start with the fat end. I'm going to go in quickly just to give it some heat and try to pull it out before it hits blue and purple, which would be bad. Then I'll come back to the vise, clamp it in, we'll finish it with a torch. But just to try to get some heat in, because this is a big, long, thick hunk of steel, if I tried to do it all with a torch, it would be quite a while trying to get it heated up just to 400, which is where we're going for with that nice straw temper. So we're going to start with the forge. We're going to be quick, try not to screw it up, and then we're coming to the vise.
Help you.
I don't know what temperature we're at, but I don't see any colors yet, so we haven't ruined it yet. I'm hoping that having that thin part in the center where the fuller is will heat up pretty quickly and then slowly radiate that heat out towards the edge. Oh, it's starting to get hot there. That may have been bad. I think we're there. It might have got a little too hot on me.
You actually sprayed your camera with the W240.
Alright, so that I went into the oil to stop the temper. It looks like I might have got a little hot in some places. I don't know. I knew that was a risky move when I did it. But I guess we'll see. It's still pretty straight. I'm hoping that that was enough of a temper. And again, that color's a little darker than what I wanted in some places. So if anything, it would have made it soft, which it won't break. And what I'm thinking of doing is, before I get it all finished, do some destructive testing. So probably before I even go to grind this, I'll take it out back, try to chop into a log with it,